those who don't know me, my name is Zanita. I am a very open and honest soul about my life, especially the really traumatic and hardcore bullshit. I really wanted to start making YouTube videos and really expressing my life and continuing to spread awareness about, in particular, the things that have affected my life. So, a little bit about me. I have severe mental illness. I have borderline personality disorder. I disassociate quite heavily. I have severe depression, anxiety, panic disorder, and I also have debilitating complex PTSD. I also suffer with an eating disorder, which I've suffered with since I was 12 years old, but I never publicly really told anyone until last year when it got really, really bad, and I finally told my doctor and got some help, but it had been ongoing and I'd been hiding a lot of it since I was 12 years old. I also have a lot of medical issues. I have a lot of reproductive issues. I suffer with endometriosis, adenomyosis, and PCOS. Also due to laxative abuse because of my eating disorder. I have gastroparesis, irritable bowel syndrome. I've had a lot of health issues due to my eating disorder, which most people may not understand. To a lot of people, I look very healthy when in reality I'm quite ill. But I'll get more into that later. But there's a point to this video. There's a point to this video. Self-depression broke my heart and I learned my lesson. It's already over in my head. It's been cloudy with a chance of anxiety. Can't keep out the demons inside of me. Maybe I'm just better off dead. Cause you love me and you hate me. Use your body to sedate me. And you made me fucking crazy. You made me miserable. It's been cloudy with a chance of depression. Broke my heart and I learned my lesson. It's already over in my head. It's been cloudy with a chance of anxiety. Can't keep out the demons inside of me. Maybe I'm just better off dead. Yeah. Why you always gotta have the last word? You know all my passwords. Watch you walk away, I'm bending. Had to. For those who know me, know that I've struggled with these severe mental health issues since I was about 13. So I've been dealing with this for a really long time. And I chose to do this video this certain way because I need to spread more awareness. I need to be more honest. I was gonna put makeup on, but I was just like, you know what, let's be raw and honest. Like, this is just me. But, like, here's the big thing.
Psych Ward, Psych Ward, Psych Ward, bitch. Psych Ward, bitch. Psych Ward. I'm with the Psych Ward. I'll be cooling in the Psych Ward.
So, surprise. I am currently back in the Psych Ward. Mental institution. Can't even speak. mental institute, mental hospital, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I am back in the psych ward, which pretty much only a very few people knew. I've actually been in here for, how long now? Like nearly a week now. Been kind of keeping it to myself and just kind of my little circle. Because normally what I do is I'd go on Facebook and just kind of let people know what was going on with my mental health. Like I said, I'm a very open and honest person. But this time I was like, nah man, I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to show you the raw unedit of what it's like, and also what it's like in my life and what it's like in here. So fucking surprise, bitch is back in the crazy house. For anyone who doesn't know me, I've been in and out of inpatient, like psych wards, whatever the fuck you want to call it, since I was about 14, dealing with my mental health and severe PTSD. Last year I was in 4 hospitals, which is probably the most I've been in my life, and that was originally for mental health, then 2 places for my eating disorder, and then somewhere else for my mental health. So I'm currently here for my complex PTSD. Truth of the matter is, it's taking over my life and it's slowly killing me. That's blunt as fuck truth. So I'm in here for my complex PTSD, but one of the major issues is that I use my eating disorder as a kind of comfort mechanism. So if I'm having severe flashbacks or my PTSD is triggered or something, I just won't eat. Or I'll purge. It's been very difficult. The hospital I'm currently in, and I will not disclose where I am or anyone in here with me. This is just about my journey. This hospital actually isn't really made for dealing with eating disorders. That's not their job. But they've been really amazing helping me. And when I say helping me, I mean Zanita wants to get help, wants to get healthy, wants to live her life and have a future and have kids one day. But the demon in my head that is Anna, so anorexia, wants to just fucking kill me, wants me to slowly die. So they've been really amazing in the fact that, like I said, I appreciate it, my eating disorder doesn't, that they've been monitoring what I've been eating, how much I've been eating. I've gotten some hard talking to in the past couple days because I've been so distressed with my PTSD, including some external things that have occurred, so things not inside the hospital, just like things happening outside of here that have severely triggered me. Automatic response is I won't eat for a day, and then I won't eat for another day, and then I'll only have a sugar-free jelly all day. And they're very much pushing that if I don't get my eating under control, they're just going to transfer me either to a public hospital or to an eating disorder hospital. And it's very hard when someone like me who has quit alcohol, I'm over 2 years and 6 months sober, and someone who has quit all forms of drugs, including weed and various other things that I messed with that I don't often talk about. Over 2 years and 4 months clean with that, but this stronghold of this eating disorder demon has been there since my trauma started. So anything that has to do with my trauma, anything that triggers my trauma, my automatic response is, nah, we're not eating, we're not doing this. So it's been a real battle lately between trying to eat when you're highly emotional and crying and distressed, especially when I don't want to get kicked out of this hospital. It's beautiful, I've got amazing friends, amazing nurses. It's fucking hard, man. It's fucking hard. It really is. I'll give a basic on my complex PTSD so you kind of get a feel of why shit's so rough. Sorry, I need some coffee. So I'll give a basic kind of rundown on my long list of trauma. Actually, I've got my nifty little labyrinth journal here where I actually thought it'd be very therapeutic. I did this a while ago to kind of write out all my trauma. Also because it makes it a lot easier to explain to doctors and stuff when they can just read the list instead of you emotionally have to bring up all that shit all over again. So, fuck, it's a long list. Let me quickly show you this. And believe me, there's shit that's happened since I wrote this. Just wait, I feel the need to sing this song. Ain't about romancing anymore. Just you getting lit in the queue to the dance floor. Too many blocks are getting heavy. When a girl looks unsteady, blisters on, you're bleeding souls. You're out my bitch, I walk you on. You walk you straight up to the front door. Yes, you stumbles on the road. We all know what happens next. A bit of fun turns to regret. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. This song hits me hard. She's from the last night. Gotta go forensic, avoid the domestic. Get antiseptic and give him a polygraph ice. She turned the red to the side and lied to the real life. You see this girl, she had a boyfriend. His name was Zach and he made her happy, but he couldn't understand. In his mind she was a slag. When he tried to explain what happened, she was grumbling at him for an hour. Crying out at the top of her lungs, don't leave me here alone. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no. Leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. She can't even can't even walk. She slurs when she speaks, but she hear what you want when she can't even talk. She can't even run. She can't even walk. She slurs when she speaks, but you hear what you want when she can't even talk. Can't even talk. Can't even talk. Can't even talk. And lonely, she doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no, leave it alone, mate. She doesn't wanna go home with you. Home with you, no. This is a bit hardcore for me. By the way, this is like my facade, the smiling. People don't really... I think a lot of people think I'm very bubbly and happy, which I am, but I hide a lot. I'm very disconnected from myself, and it's kind of like this happy face, permanent happy face. So I'll smile even though I'm internally, mentally bleeding, which I shouldn't laugh about, but I was just thinking before I just kind of briefly explain a bit of my trauma so some people can kind of understand like where I am, where I'm at, instead of, I guess, just jumping to conclusions or having no real understanding. The truth of the matter is you'll never understand. Like, no one can know what it's like to live another person's life. And there's no comparing trauma or comparing anyone's life, but I feel like as painful and apprehensive as I am, I think just lightly talking about a bit of this will be good, but I feel like before that, maybe I need to sing this song because I feel like this song relates to a lot of things. You tell me it gets better in time. Say pull myself together, pull it together, you'll be fine. Tell me what the hell do you know, what do you know? Tell me how the hell could you know, how could you know? Till it happens to you, you don't know how it feels. How it feels. Till it happens to you, you won't know. It won't be real. No, it won't be real. Won't know how it feels. This one isn't finished yet either. Oh, I might not show it. Might do a little show you of my room. And then just do a kind of last progress update and, you know, let you all know where I am. And that I will probably do some more videos while I'm up here and keep up to date. Keep you all up to date. Alright, so let's do this. Tell me, hold your head up and be strong. You said before you're gonna get up and move on. Tell me, how the hell can you talk? How can you talk? 'Cause until you've walked where I've walked, it's just all talk. Till it happens to you, you don't know how I feel. How it feels. Till it happens to you, you won't know. It won't be real. No, it won't be real. Won't know how I feel. Till your world burns and crashes. Till you're at the end of your road. Till you're standing in my shoes. I don't wanna hear nothing from you, from you, from you. 'Cause you don't know. Till it happens to you, you don't know how I feel. How I feel. How I feel. Till it happens to you, you won't know. It won't be real. No, it won't be real. Won't know how I feel. Till it happens to you, happens to you, happens to you. Happens to you, happens to you, happens to you. Till it happens to you, you won't know how I feel. Honestly, gets me every time. I don't listen to it very often. It makes me very emotional. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this basic, otherwise I'll get really emotional. But let's just say when I was about in year 3, a boy same age as me was touching me down there in the middle of class. I was groomed by a pedophile, and I think that I blocked out a lot of that. I was used sexually multiple times by people who knew I was vulnerable, people who knew that I was self-harming every day and just didn't give a fuck about my life, so they'd be like, yeah, can I have nude images, kind of thing. Sexually used by my first boyfriend when we broke up, as in he knew I was still in love with him, so he knew he could ask me to do pretty much anything and I'd do it, and most of the time it was sexual. Close friend of mine touched me without permission. I had a cousin who would fuck some of this shit. I had a cousin who the first time I ever got fully drunk, like and then eventually passed out, he was asking for nudes and stuff and sexting me, and that went on for a while. And I was about 13 and they were about 17. They knew what they were doing. They knew how unwell I was and that I wasn't in the mind space to truly understand what was going on. Sexually assaulted, attempted rape at 14. Raped by one of my boyfriends that I didn't tell anyone about for years because I knew no one would believe me. I had my first abusive relationship where I was so scared of him I thought of sleeping with a knife under my pillow, and where he threatened to at one point slit my parents' throats in their sleep. So I was scared to leave him. I had to wait kind of till he broke it off. I was raped again by someone who I thought was my friend, like a close friend who I was falling in love with. I've had 9 miscarriages now, including one about 2 weeks ago. And I can't even talk about that too long because, around that time, about a week or so ago, I nearly attempted suicide because I just couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle the idea that my babies were up in heaven and I was here. Feel like as a mama I should be with my babies. This one's a hard one for me. I was actually orally raped. So I was highly intoxicated. I kept saying no, they didn't listen to me. I don't want to go into too much detail, it'll be too graphic and it's too painful for me to talk about. I was at a party and I was verbally abused about my breasts, told that they were disgusting, saggiest, fucking ugliest tits this person had ever seen, and I shouldn't call myself a model. And he was drunk and he punched me in the face, punched me in the stomach, and I tried to hit back, and that's the only time I've been in a fight. I'm not a violent person. I had an on and off relationship with someone who wouldn't commit to me, who tell me he loved me but wouldn't commit to me, and who I know at one point was sleeping with me but had a girlfriend, and who he knew, because I'm an empath and a loving, giving person, that if he asked for clothing, alcohol, food, whatever the fuck he wanted, sex, like, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Didn't care because I loved him. And he did that for a long, long time. We were kind of together whenever I was single. And luckily I hit a wall where I was just like, I'm not taking this. I'm not taking this anymore. Obviously, I had my domestic violent relationship a couple years ago where I was strangled within 2 months in the relationship. I had to call the police on him just for him getting into 3 fights in one night. First week we were together. I had to call the police on him because he was out of control, and I was stuck in that. I was really stuck in that. And he was emotionally, financially, verbally, psychologically controlling, intimidating, isolating, threats, like the full lot. Was it all like physical violence? No. The strangulation was the worst incident. And anyone who says strangulation isn't serious is, I'm sorry, a fuckwit. Look it up. Honestly, look it up. You can die within 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. The highest risk of homicide and domestic violence is strangulation. It's the reason I have the domestic violence ribbon on my neck. And the words, just want to see if I can do this. It's a bit hard to see, but it says love shouldn't hurt. And that was very, very painful tattoo, but also very triggering. But I needed it on my neck as a permanent reason to remind myself I survived. I mean, I'm talking this person used to kick and hit my dog. Talking this person used to call me lazy when I made his every meal and did everything he said. Gave him money, gave him weed, whatever the fuck he wanted. I was raped while blackout drunk at a friend's place. Cheers to that friend for looking out for me. Good thing you're an ex-fucking friend, bitch. Yeah, I was raped by that domestic violent person. I was in an emotionally abusive, toxic, cycle abuse, lying, cheating, toxic relationship with someone not that long ago. Really not that long ago. And I was also indecently assaulted in hospital. And I know I'm forgetting things. So long story, I'm fucked up. This bitch is fucked up. Okay. So what do we want to get at? Alright, so that's a bit about me and my history. What's being in a psych ward like? Well, for starters, it depends if you're in public or private. I've nearly always been in private. I've only been in 2 public. But in private, it's way better. I would suggest to anyone with mental health issues to get private health insurance because it's worth it. I wouldn't be alive without it, honestly. So here we have group therapy, which is really, really good on different topics, whether it be like shame and guilt or anger or various things. We also do like art, there's exercise, there's a whole lot of things. There's also depends where you go, but at this place there's an addiction program as well. I'm here for mental health, obviously, but really depends where you go. Some hospitals have, addiction, eating disorder, mental health. Really depends what you need. I feel like if anyone who has severe mental health issues it is worth the money to get private health insurance, because if you need somewhere safe to go to, this is the kind of place you need to be. And I will do a brief little tour of my room in a minute, this is a nice place, there's good food, there's a nice lounge room with a big TV. I've got a TV in here, I can go out the front and have a smoke, it's good. There's also a psychiatrist, there's a psychologist, there's a social worker, as well as a GP, so you get a lot of support on everything, which is really good. Okay, like I said before, eating has been really hard for me, especially in here. Just like I said, obviously some of the groups trigger you, especially if you have PTSD and stuff, because they hit close to home. So I've been looking at my book and I was like, I'm going to explain some of this stuff to you guys. Just got to find the right page. Okay, so like I said the other day, we did guilt and shame, and how guilt is I did something wrong, whether it is that you actually did something wrong or someone else did something wrong but you blame yourself. For me, that's one of my biggest issues, is the guilt I hold against myself for things that weren't my fault, and the shame is kind of I'm wrong, like something's wrong with me, which I also hold on myself again in terms of a lot of my assaults and things. I wrote that day during that group that I deserved to punish myself, survivor's guilt, if I'd just done this, the coping strategies of guilt and shame and control. But it's also being kind to yourself, because the thing is that you may be holding guilt against yourself for something you did when you were younger, and you've got to kind of go back and think like, well, what mind space was I in at the time when I did that? You know, like, how vulnerable was I? Was I young? Was I intoxicated? Like, you know, really break that shit down. Good song. Fuck you, I want to let you down. This one hit me hard to the point that I actually couldn't do it. I think I left the group because it was too much for me. It was like we either had to write a letter of forgiveness to ourselves, and I was like, oh hell no, can't do that. Write a letter to your emotions. Write a letter to your future self. Write kind of like a gratitude journal, like 5 things you're grateful for and why. But that was a bit full on for me. I was like, oh, like the grateful one I could do easy, like my family, my friends, my pets. Like, I guess some days I'm grateful I'm still alive. Kind of depends on the day. But yeah, that was a bit of a hard one for me. What else? What else do I have written in here? I've started doing a lot of writing in here. A lot of writing, which I find really helpful. I'm a bit of a poet, don't really journal, more poetry and songwriting. And I wrote this today. I'm in chains, wrapped around so tight, like barbed wire bruising me, frozen, unable to move, blood droplets drip from my skin due to the pressure of being trapped within this razor blade spider web I'm held within. Which could be interpreted in many different ways, but I think for me, it related a lot to my domestic violence relationship, but also being trapped within myself and my PTSD. Trying to think what else I've written here. Here's another one I wrote. I was diamond glass, beautiful, glistening. With the sick choices of others, I became shattered into tiny, shiny pieces scattered. So many shards of glass everywhere. Since then, over half my life, trying to find each crumbled diamond and glue myself together again. Okay, finally, current progress is it's kind of been like some backward steps and some forward steps. So like I said earlier, there was a couple days where I just DNA'd it all, or I only ate one tiny little thing, and it had to be sugar free. But there was a couple days where I ate more than I was at home, so that was progress. The fact that I am getting something out of the groups, the fact that I'm doing a lot of poetry and writing and just like unleashing my emotions. I think the fact that even though a lot of me just is exhausted and wants to give up, that I'm keep fighting. I keep fighting. Like, I'm here, I'm fighting, I'm doing it. Even though I'm exhausted, mentally exhausted, it'd be so easy to just give up and say goodbye. Like, I'm still trying. I still have hopes and dreams. I'm very grateful and blessed for the beautiful family I have. I'm including my beautiful younger sister, who's my little angel. I love her. My partner, who is just out of this world, beautiful, just so supportive. Even like being away from him's really hard, especially so early in our relationship, but his non-stop support just makes me know that that he's my forever, he's my happiness, he's my soulmate, and I'm so grateful for him. I'm grateful for the friends I have in here. I'm grateful for a lot of my really, really close friends who stayed in constant contact, making sure I'm doing alright. And you all know who you are, and I love you. I love you so much. Grateful for the nurses. Yeah. I'm doing the best I can. I won't lie, it's been a rough couple of days. I've broken down hardcore. I haven't been eating well, and I'm trying to push through that because otherwise I will get transferred. But, you know, this is me, blunt, honest. This is just who I am. And haters can fuck off. At least someone is speaking the fucking truth about what mental health and all this shit is really like. And, you know, if I cop flack for that, I really don't care. You know, I've been really vulnerable here, really fucking vulnerable. I've always been an open book, but I've said more in this video than I have pretty much ever on all my social media. And I've always been open about everything. So I hope that you guys, as long as this video is, that you'll take the time to watch it, that you'll subscribe, that you'll share, you'll comment, or like tag a friend or whatever. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, little Psych Ward baby here is gonna get some sleep because, as you can tell from my eyes, I'm so tired. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and more videos coming soon.